Perfect.
Good. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for being here this morning. The purpose of this meeting today is to ask for your help to support the getting the word out on universal preschool. We really appreciate your being here. Um, so first we wanted to start by telling you who is Joint Initiatives because the three of us on this call, which we'll introduce in a minute, are all associated with Joint Initiatives. And Joint Initiatives is a nonprofit organization. It has three primary programs, and those combined offer a range of services for children and youth 0 to 21 and their families. And it's goes everything from preventive services to more intensive intervention services. One of those three programs is called Foundations. It's the early childhood program. And JI is the local coordinating organization for the Colorado Universal Preschool Program, which is in its second year of implementation in Colorado. And are preparing for year three, which is the 2025-26 year. You can get more information about joint initiatives on the website. The website is here, www.jointinitiatives.org, if you would like to know more about JI. So, JI is at this point, the UPK team is made up of four folks. Shay Almonte is the Foundation's program manager, and her contact information is here. I am the UPK program manager, and my information is here. Heather Mayhew is on this call. She is a family resource navigator, and her information is here. And our team is rounded out by Carla Rivera Ramirez, who is also on this call, and she is also a family resource navigator, and her contact information is here. You could be hearing from any one of us, but as you'll hear later in the presentation, Carla is going to be your major contact for UPK outreach information. So let's talk first about Universal Preschool. So what is it? It's a program for children who are in their year before kindergarten, using an October 1 cutoff date, unless the child actually lives in a school district that has a cutoff date other than October 1, at which point that cutoff date is used for eligibility for UPK. So for the 25-26 year, the child must be 4 years old by October 1 of 2025, but may not be 5, as these children are eligible for kindergarten. There certainly are parents out there that would like to hold their kiddos out for a year before they send them to kindergarten, even though they're eligible. And that certainly is the parent's choice, but it will be done without UPK eligibility. So all children who meet the age qualifications are eligible for a minimum of 15 hours per week of preschool. And the preschool year is August through May. And those 15 hours are free to the family. So there are some families that are eligible for 30 hours per week free, depending upon whether or not there are certain factors that are present in their home. For your information, if they are living in poverty, they are automatically eligible for 30 hours. And if their family income is between 100 and 270% of poverty, then they must have another eligibility factor in addition to that. That is experiencing homelessness, being in foster or kinship care, um, learning a language, learning English, i.e., their home language is something other than English and they're an English language learner, or having an individual education plan. So those are the four eligibility factors that, in addition to being between 100 and 270% of poverty, will qualify a family for 30 hours. Any of the hours that the family would like to take advantage of over the 15 or 30 that they're eligible for, they will be paying the provider for those hours according to the published tuition rates. So, who are UPK providers? They're licensed child care centers, they're family child care homes, and they're school districts in El Paso County. Although UPK is a statewide program, we are specifically working with El Paso County. And in our county, we have about 210 UPK centers and homes within the county, and more coming on every day. As we noted, UPK runs on a school year schedule. Right now, we are in the 24-25 school year, and we can still enroll families whose children are 4 now and were 4 by October 1 of 2024. If any families are moving into the area and they would like to enroll in UPK, they are certainly able to do that all the way through till the end of the 24-25 UPK year. However, registration for the 25-26 UPK year begins this year on December 17th, so it's coming up quite soon. And the school year for the 25-26 year begins in August of 2025. So, because we are starting family registration in almost just a little bit more than a month, we are trying to get the word out to everybody about this so that if they have children that are eligible, that they take advantage of UPK. So families with age eligible children, in order to enroll, will set up an account at upk.colorado.gov. And as soon as they set up that account and get into UPK, they will be offered the opportunity to browse UPK providers in their area and identify those that meet their specific needs. So maybe they only want their child in preschool for a half a day. Maybe they need full day services. Maybe they need the provider to be in a certain location. So all of that is searchable in the UPK portal for families. And so they should go in there and they should look at the ones that they're interested in. And then the next thing they're going to do is they're going to answer a few simple questions in the application. It's very short and very easy. And then they're going to enter in their providers and programs that they have chosen for the child in the order of preference. And families can choose up to 10 providers. If the child is already attending at a UPK provider and wants to continue to go there, they or they are have a sibling who is attending there, or is a child of an employee at that provider, they have what's called priority status, and they're going to be able to apply between December 17th and February 3rd and automatically get a seat at that provider. So they will not have to go through the next steps. They will be done. However, the only way that that happens is if that current provider, if they put them in their first choice, they are able to add in other providers after that, but their priority provider must be in their first rank in order for them to qualify for that seat. So if a family does not have priority status, they're going to go through a matching algorithm. And there's going to be 2 this year that will be offered. And every family who registers is assigned a lottery number. So UPK is not first come, first serve. They can sign up at any point before February the 10th. They're going to be assigned a lottery number. And on February the 10th, the first matching algorithm will run. The system always tries to find a seat at the family's first choice, if at all possible, if there's a seat available based on their lottery number. And if they can't get them to the first choice, they attempt the second. If they can't get the second, they attempt the third, all the way down until there is a seat open at one of their choices. And at that point, there is a process used to actually get them placed into that seat. But that's how the matching algorithm works. So it's very important that you understand that this is not a first come, first serve. They are assigned a lottery number, and they go through a matching algorithm. On April the 1st, after the two matching algorithms have been completed, then we move to direct enrollment. And direct enrollment is essentially a family chooses a provider that they're interested in. They contact that provider. If the provider has a seat for them, then the provider and the family work together to get that child in that seat. So after March 10th, there will be no more matching algorithms. It will be direct enrollment with the provider of the family's choice, provided that they have a seat, of course. Couple of other things to note. Families with CCAP can also enroll in UPK and they can receive the benefit of both programs. They stack on top of each other. So you can offer a full day eligible family for both CCAP and UPK at the same provider. Which often works in the family's favor in terms of what it is that they will be paying for their childcare. So they are not mutually exclusive, they can work together. However, military families who are using Child Care Aware, which is a military subsidy, will need to contact Child Care Aware to determine if they can blend UPK with the Child Care Aware supplement. Child Care Aware is talking with families on a case by case basis to determine what will be most beneficial for the family. We do have a family website at UPK that we are still developing, but should be done within the next couple of days. And we will make sure that the Child Care Aware contact information is on that page so that any family who needs to reach out to Child Care Aware can easily find that information and do that. So if a child has an IEP and they are either 3 or 4 years old, an IEP is an individual education plan or a child who has been identified as having special needs, must complete an application through the UPK portal. Unfortunately, they will not be able to choose a location when they do that, as the application immediately goes to the family's home school district for placement. And if the district does not offer the preschool hours that the family needs, the family can decline the special education services with the school district and choose another UPK provider, as long as that provider is able to meet the child's needs. We do not encourage that. We suggest that families, if at all possible, do in fact take advantage of the services provided by their school district to meet the child's special education needs. But there certainly are situations in which that's just not going to work for the family, that they need a full day program and the school district doesn't offer it. So in that case, there are other options out there. We would prefer to talk with the family about that. But any options that they would like to discuss have to go to their home school district first before we can assist them. So let's talk about 3-year-olds. We know that UPK is only for 4-year-old children, the children in their year before kindergarten. However, most school districts do offer some programs for 3-year-olds that are free of charge, depending upon what eligibility factors they want to take into consideration. In general, they don't have anywhere close to the number of seats that 3-year-old families would like to take advantage of. So the school district gets to decide what are the priority factors for placing children with 3-year-olds. The point here is that, however, if a 3-year-old family without an IEP were to go into the UPK application and submit an application, they would be told that they are not eligible for UPK. They have to go to their school district for that to happen. And all school district contracts are available on the UPK family page. And any child who is not 4 by October 1, 2025, who applies in the portal will be shown to be ineligible for UPK unless they have an IEP. So we'd like to ask you to educate families who have children who are younger than 4 to consider UPK during the year of the child's year before kindergarten eligibility, so that they're aware of the program and its benefits and are already looking at the possibility of doing that when the child turns 4. So here's why we're here today. We need your help. We have flyers in both English and Spanish. They're very simple flyers with a QR code that makes it easy for families to begin the registration process. Literally, the QR code takes them to the upk.colorado.gov to start the process. We can also provide the flyer electronically for whatever use you may have for that. And when feasible, we can translate flyers into other languages. We just need to know that you need more than just one flyer in that language, and we can talk about whether or not we can get that done for you. Staff can also attend a staff meeting in person or virtually to educate your staff who work with families on the basics of UPK. Uh, we can attend family events that you hold to talk about UPK and assist them in registering. And we've talked about the Family UPK webpage that provides families with additional information about UPK. And the QR code to that webpage is also on the UPK flyer. They are separated, so it's pretty clear as to which one goes to the family page and which one goes to the UPK registration. If you have any other ideas or suggestions as to how we can get the word out, we'd love to hear it. And here's who you talk to. So to request flyers or to have staff attend, you're going to talk to Carla. Here is Carla's contact information. This is being recorded today, so we'll be up on our UPK page, as well as the slides will be sent to you and all of our potential partners so that you have this on hand and can refer back to it. So as a reminder, family registration for the 25-26 year begins on December 17th, and it continues through the 25-26 school year. So any family during that time who has a child who was 4 by October 1 of 2025 can still register anytime during that year, but registration starts on December 17th. The pre-registration period for those families who have priority registration is December 17th through February 3rd of 2025. It is our understanding at this point that if a family misses the pre-registration period, yet has priority status, they are not going, that priority status is not going to be honored during the matching periods. So they may have to wait until direct enrollment to hopefully get a seat with their provider at that point. So we're asking for you to help us reach eligible families so that they can choose where they would like their child to attend for that year. That is our very quick overview of UPK. I'd like to take a minute now to see if you have any questions or suggestions for us.